Hi, I'm Chris Gumas. Today I'm going to show you how to build a sensor mount system, starting with a 12mm round sensor, down through the portable magnetic base using these modular mounting components found on Ruland.com.
Now we're back on Ruland.com. All of the parts needed to build this sensor mount system can be found under the Machine Components tab in the Modular Mounting Systems category. This is the list of all parts that can be used to make your own modular mounting system. We will cover most as we build this sensor mount system. First, we need to find a mounting bracket that can hold our 12mm round sensor. We'll filter the mounting brackets to see our options with a 12mm bore diameter. I'll choose the option with the cross pattern because it gives me more versatility by supporting two different sized screws. As you can see, this bracket supports multiple M4 screws on the outside and an M8 screw in the center, which is critical for mating to our bracket clamp. I'll add it to my cart and start looking for a bracket clamp to pair it with. This is the only time I'll show you the cart page to save us some time. Now I'm going to find the right bracket clamp. I'll filter the bracket clamps to see which have an M8 center thread to match with the center screw hole of the bracket. I'll choose the anodized version because my system may be exposed to environmental elements like coolant and machine oil that we have in our factory here at Ruland. We can confirm our mating pattern is correct by reviewing the drawing and hardware specs. This bracket clamp supports a 16mm square tube thanks to its broach edges or a 20mm round tube. This gives me some flexibility when deciding on a tube to attach to it. I'm adding it to the cart and moving on to selecting my tube. Now I am navigating to the tubes and rods subcategory. I have the option of choosing a square or round tube. In this case, I want a lightweight aluminum square tube for the top half of my system. As mentioned earlier, the bracket clamp supports square tubes with a 16mm OD. This is identified with the MT20 in the bracket clamp part number. I'm going to filter using the Fits with Clamps dropdown and select MT20. This leaves me with a variety of 16mm tubes to choose from. I need a short one to attach to the sensor and will select the 100mm option with no scale since the sensor position will be fixed. I can confirm the tube matches the bracket clamp by verifying it fits with clamps and connectors starting with MT20 in the dimensions section of the product page. I'll add it to the cart and move on. Next, I need a mini clamp tube connector to connect the top half of the system to the bottom half. The adjustable two-way connector supports two tubes and allows me to easily adjust the angular positioning and height of my sensor as needed. I'll filter with a 20mm round bore diameter because it will fit my 16mm square tube and the 20mm round I'm going to select next. When reviewing specs, I want to take note of the width and height dimensions as well as the clamp screw in case I want to add a clamping lever kit. Let's add to the cart and select our next tube. Now we need a tube to go into the other half of the adjustable two-way connector. I'll use a hollow round tube to help protect my wires. I need one on the longer side as I'll be making frequent height adjustments of 50 to 100mm. The 300mm option is best suited for my system. This leaves me with two to choose from, and I want the one with scale so I can make my precise height adjustments. I quickly confirm dimensions and add to the cart. I will be running a wire through the round tube, so I'm going to put a tube cap on the top to keep the wire inside and help protect it from coolant and other contaminants in the operating environment. To find a tube cap, I will go to the tubes and rods section and look for tube end caps. I filter by 20mm OD and see only one option. Each tube has only one tube cap that fits, so I'm safe to add directly to the cart. Now, I know this system will require frequent height adjustments of the two-way connector on the round tube side. To best do this, I will select a mini clamp lever kit that allows me to do so without tools. Remember when I took note of the width and height dimension and clamp screw size when selecting the adjustable two-way connector? Selecting the mini clamp lever kit is why. I'll start by looking at mini clamp kits, then filtering to find one with an M6 thread to match the clamp screw and a 30mm sleeve and stud length to match the width and height of the adjustable two-way connector. There is only one that meets the requirement. I'm going to click into this part to do a quick sanity check on the dimensions. Everything checks out, so I add to cart. I now need a mounting base with a 20mm bore to support the 20mm OD of the round tube I've chosen. I'll filter the bases to see options with a 20mm bore and select the anodized version. When selecting the base, I pay special attention to the center-to-center dimension. In my design, I want to use a magnetic base for mounting to make the system portable. This dimension will be how I mate the connector base to the magnetic base. If my system were being permanently fixed, I would need to add drill holes into my design. In this case, the center-to-center is 36mm. After a quick review of some other dimensions, I add to cart. Finally, I require portability in my sensor mount system, so I'll add a portable magnetic base. The magnetic base allows me to simply lift and move the system as needed without the use of tools. I need one with the same center-to-center dimension as the two-way base, so I filter to see options with a 36mm center-to-center. I don't have a high magnetic requirement given the design of my system. We have an entire video dedicated to magnetic forces that is helpful in showing how to design a system using these magnetic bases. I'll add this to the cart, and that's it. We've successfully built our sensor mount system. I quickly review the cart to be sure I have my sensor bracket, bracket clamp, square tube, two-way connector, mini clamping lever kit, round tube end cap, mounting base, and portable magnetic base. Thanks for watching. Like this video? Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.